Hey, what's up, everybody? How you doing tonight? Episode number 381, Drink It Till You podcast, the only podcast that lasts until the last drop. How the hell is your Sunday going? How the hell was your week? Hope everybody's okay. I hope you're safe out there. Happy Mother's Day, by the way. To all the mothers, all the mamas, all the baby mamas. Word to your mother. I never knew how to take that. The word to your mother. Who said that, by the way? Was that Vanilla Ice's thing, or was that the other white guy I can think of? Marky Mark. Which guy said that? I'm leaning more toward Vanilla Ice. That had to be his thing, right? But I never knew how to take that. Was that like you're genuinely wanting me to go home and be like, hey, by the way, Mom, Vanilla Ice, he said, what's up? He hopes you're doing okay, or is it like you're trying to imply that you had relations with my mom that I don't know about? That would upset me. Is this insulting, or are you really being nice? Like, you got Vanilla Ice, tell me the truth. Which one is it? Because I really don't know. Like, I don't know what you're trying to say. You're speaking in riddles, bro. But anyways, I am drinking. I'm about 2 deep on these Bud Light Platinum Seltzers. 8% alcohol by volume. I go for the wild berry. And I totally forgot, dude. Like, I swear, like a week's time, every time I do this episode, like, you listeners, like, this is like a blank page for me every time I do this episode. I don't remember what the hell I talked about last week. I don't remember what I was hyping up. I don't know until I start to think about it. I'm like, oh yeah, when I was in the store, I was supposed to get the White Claw that I was so pumped about because of the flavor. I totally forgot. Like, I just went in and I was like, yeah, just give me these two of these, that's fine. And I totally forgot. I was so excited about the White Claw, and it would have taken, not to say this, Bud Light Platinum Seltzer tastes bad. It doesn't. It tastes good, but it's not quite as good as the White Claw. So yeah, I mean, just in that time span, 7 days, dude, and I'm just like, I'm a whole new person. I don't even know what I was doing last week, who that was, who you listened to. I don't know. I just don't know. But yeah, we're going to talk some, after we take our first drink, we're going to talk some cocktails to start off the episode. Obviously, I mean, a lot has changed in that short amount of time in the hockey playoff world. I am a different person now. Yeah, what else? I don't know. I don't even know what else. Oh, dude, I'll tell you this real quick. Let's go ahead and have our first drink, and then I'll tell you. Cheers, everybody. As if I don't start drinking and I keep talking, I'll look up and have to down this whole thing in the last, 2 minutes of the episode, and that's never fun. I always complain about my teeth because it's so cold. Oh, God. Allergies be damned. We're going to get through this episode. But I'll tell you what I've been thinking about lately. I don't know why. Before we get into the drink recommendations, I've been thinking about being on a motorcycle lately. Like, buying a motorcycle and, riding it to and from work. And that's it. Just to and from work. 10, 15-minute drive every single day, 5 days a week. 1, to conserve on gas. 2, because it's kind of fun. I think people run into trouble on motorcycles when they go on long trips. When they're doing 3-hour bike ride. Yeah, you're more prone to have an accident in that time. If you're riding at 10 minutes one way, that's nothing. I could do that. And I'm totally thinking about how much gas I would save. I could probably go to work for 2 weeks on a motorcycle and not have to fill it up until that 2 weeks is up. you know. I don't know what it is. Is it the summertime? Is that what's doing it to me? Because I've ridden a motorcycle before, and it was fun. I mean, dude, you get on one of those things, you go 10 miles an hour and tell me you don't feel like you're going 50. I mean, it's two wheels in the road and your fucking skull. You know what I mean? Like, it feels super fast, you know, and I've never done, you know, I've never ridden on a street before. But you know, I've sat in a parking lot and rode one enough to kind of get the gist of it, and I'm like, I don't know where this is coming from all of a sudden. You know, it's like the the summertime's got me feeling good. It's got me feeling spry all of a sudden. You know, and I do know a friend who's actually older than me who does, just out of nowhere, he was like, you know, he started riding a motorcycle and he actually got in a pretty bad wreck. You know, and that definitely makes me cautious. You know, I'm like, I shouldn't do it. But I'm not going long distances. I won't even be on there more than 10 minutes. You know? And I've reached the age to where I'm like the old man who shows up to his job 30 minutes early. I'm like annoying all the other coworkers because it's like, why the fuck is this guy here already? You're not supposed to be here for another 30 minutes. I'm like, hey, how you doing? How was your weekend? How are the kids? Yeah, it's great. Yeah, you know what I did this week? It's like, dude, nobody wants to hear that. The first thing in the morning. Nobody wants to talk to that guy first thing in the morning. You know, just all spry and like full of life and like ready to get the day started. That's me now. That's me. I can't believe it. Dude, out of all the jobs where I've had to sit down in a meeting with the powers that be because I kept showing up late, like out of all of those years, just all of a sudden my switch has flipped. You know, I'm the old man showing up early to my shift. And, you know, I do enjoy my job. So, you know, there is that. That helps. You know, when you don't enjoy the job, it's way easier to show up late and be like, I don't give a fuck if we get started late. I don't care. You know what I mean? But this job I actually do love. So that has something to do with it. But I don't know what's happened to me all of a sudden. Like I said, it's the summertime. It's that feeling. I don't know. I'm feeling youthful again. I don't know what it is. And I thought about getting a trike, but I'm like, that just defeats the whole thing, doesn't it? If you get a trike, you might as well just add the fourth wheel and just drive your car. You know, but the motorcycle is just an experience, you know, and I really kind of want to do it. And I always thought I would be like the Harley guy, you know. If I get a motorcycle, it's going to be a Harley. It's going to be what I would call a cruiser. You know, leather saddlebags, all that shit. But I'm not feeling that lately, dude. I'm feeling like a barely legal I'm feeling like a barely legal dirt bike would do me just fine. Hey, you know, like just here comes Chris. You know, I won't be going that fast, obviously, but I don't know what's going on all of a sudden. I've never been a motorcycle guy. And all of a sudden, that's all I can think about is like fantasizing about driving to work on my motorcycle. You know, getting there early. Annoying the coworkers. I just couldn't get the throttle going today. I don't know what's wrong with it. They're like, shut the fuck up. Oh God, I don't know what is happening with me. It's like the happiest go lucky midlife crisis you've ever seen. I hope I'm not midlife. I don't feel like I've reached midlife. I'm almost 40. I'll be 40 this year. That's not midlife. I mean, I guess if you're, you know, You grow to be 80. That's a pretty good age. You lived a pretty good life at 80, right? Am I halfway done? Done? I don't know. No. Anyways, let's have another drink. Cheers, everybody. Let's get into some drink recommendations. I just thought I'd throw that out there. I don't know what it is lately. I've been really into it. I'm not going to get a Harley. I'm going to get a crotch rocket. I mean, straight up. A street legal dirt bike or a crotch rocket. I don't know. Kind of weird for me. So anyways, with all the hockey happenings, the NBA, I mean, I'm going to get into it on the finals. I'll see who the final teams are. Other than that, I just don't care anymore. I was rooting for OKC. Are they even still in it? I don't know. I haven't been paying attention, but something I have been paying attention to closely, probably uncomfortably close, is the hockey. All the hockeys. All the NHLs happening. So tonight, for the drink recommendations, and in case you're wondering, I sing that song because I used to play a clip of it, and I've just got too lazy to pull the clip up and play it before. So I just sing it randomly before the drink recommendations. Anyways, so we're doing hockey cocktails. This is from mixologistmaster.com, and they have some fun ones on here. Hockey and cocktails, drink of the week. This one's called the Hat Trick. Here's what you're going to need. 2 ounces Canadian whiskey, 1 ounce maple syrup, 3/4 ounce fresh lemon juice, dash of Angostura bitters, and ice. Here's how the hell you make it. In a shaker, combine Canadian whiskey, maple syrup, lemon juice, and bitters. Fill with ice. Shake well. Strain into a rocks glass filled with ice. Garnish with a lemon twist. And there you have it, the Hat Trick. I'm trying to figure out which 3 would be part of the hat trick. Oh, I guess it's the 2 ounces Canadian whiskey plus 1 ounce maple syrup. That's the hat trick. That's the 3. This one, no, I don't want to sign up. Thank you. The next one I have for you, Wayne Gretzky's whiskey, Chris Chelios tequila. I didn't know those existed. That's kind of cool. Hey, give me 1 second. I got to run to the restroom. 1 sec. All right, just like that, podcast magic, and I'm back. Let's go ahead and have another drink. Cheers. All right. Where were we? We did one recommendation. This one's called the Power Play Punch. 1 ounce vodka, 1 ounce blue curacao, 1 ounce coconut rum, just pineapple juice, it says. Doesn't give a measurement, and ice. Here's how the hell you make it. Fill a glass with ice, add vodka, blue curacao, and coconut rum. Top with the pineapple juice and stir. Garnish with a pineapple slice. There you go. We got to get one more out of this, right? What was this saying earlier? Chris Chelios tequila, Wayne Gretzky whiskey. No, they got to have one more. I need one. What is this? Canadians spell whiskey because of their close ties with Scotland. Whiskey. They spell it the same way it was spelled. I don't get it. Let's go back. That was from mixologistmaster.com, by the way. Let's go see if we can find one more here on the internets. Hockey cocktails for hockey fans. This is from, what's the website? Falling Whale Games. All right. Snowflake, Sweet Captain. Let's go with the Sweet Captain. 1 ounce, half an ounce grenadine, half an ounce black rum, 4 ounces ginger beer, Also super easy to make I mean, I guess you just mix all that. They look like they layered it in the picture. If I had to guess what you do, grenadine on bottom, black rum. It kind of looks like it's on top. And the 4 ounces of ginger beer. Yeah, you just kind of layer them. Let's go ahead and do it as another one, a special one, a bonus one. The Fluffy Duck. This all being from fallingwhalegames.com. What you're going to need is 1 ounce triple sec, 1 ounce orange juice, top up with soda water, 1.5 ounce Advocat. I don't know what that is. 1/2 ounce London Dry Gin. The mightiest of drinks, might seem innocent enough, but will definitely pack a punch. Quack, quack, quack. This looks like it's blended a little bit. I don't know. Kind of looks like a smoothie. Triple sec orange juice, soda water. What the hell is Advocat? Advocate. It didn't tell me how to make it. I have to go to this website. Oh boy, what rabbit hole am I going down? Oh my god, this was nothing to do with the cocktail. I'm going to start getting weird emails now. Anyways, so there you go. Sorry I couldn't tell you how to make the last one. You're on your own. As always, don't drink and drive. Treat yourself to an Uber. Treat yourself to a Lyft. Treat yourself to a DoorDash, an Uber Eats, a Waymo if it's in your area. There's too many resources to drink and drive these days. If you do it, you're a dunce. Just don't do it. It's not worth it, right? Let's live to tell the tale. You know, let's die another day. I'm going all 007. Die another day. If you got them drinking, bottoms up. Cheers, everybody. All right, moving on to the NHL. Since we got some cocktails out of the way, sorta. I mean, that last one just kind of left us hanging there. I clicked the website and it was all like political posts and like headlines. You just never know who you're giving your information to these days. That's why I keep getting all these weird freaking texts. I definitely talked about this last week. All the texts trying to, like, I don't know, flirt with me to try to get me to respond. I thought you died. I missed you so much. Like, I look up the area code and I'm like, I don't know anybody in Idaho. Sorry. I'm not responding. Delete and report. Damn it. My recording keeps going off. I don't know what's happening. We're good now. Dude, I swear to God, I talked for another 10 minutes. And I look down and there's nothing happening on the recording device. But here we go. I see my voice on here. I see that it is picking it up. We'll move on from those drink recommendations to the NHL. But first I gotta say, man, these other fans of the team, any team, dude, like, here's my thing. When I go onto Twitter, I'm not a big commenter. I don't comment. I read all of your posts. And I get a good chuckle sometimes. Other times, I gasp. How could he say that? The thing that drives me crazy, and I've seen this with a couple of teams lately, is one fan telling other people how to be fans of that team. You know, like, if you're going to be this way, just don't even be a fan of my team anymore. It's like, dude, who the fuck do you think you are? Like, really? You're going to tell somebody else how to be a fan of the team or not to have an opinion or not say it out loud? It's like, you're not that powerful, man. Just so you know, I'm going to be a fan of my team however I choose. I'm going to say whatever I want to say, right or wrong, because that's how I feel. That's just how it goes. You don't get to tell another fan how to be a fan of a team. You know, it just, and I haven't just seen this once. If I had just seen it once, I wouldn't have brought it up on this episode. I've seen multiple fans of multiple teams saying the same thing to other fans. Just go ahead and jump off the bandwagon if that's how you feel. It's like, you don't get to say what team I root for. You know, here's the one that makes me laugh too. It's like, oh, I see you're a fan of like 5 different hockey teams. What a joke. Your opinion means nothing. It's like, okay, I watch more NHL than you, but my opinion means nothing. And I'm not saying me. I'm just saying from the other fan's perspective, who is a fan of the 5 teams. You know, it's like, I probably watch more hockey than you, so I have less of an opinion. You only watch one team. I'm watching multiple teams. If I'm watching 5 teams, you got to add 5 to that for the visitors. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many other teams that I'm seeing that you're not seeing. I just can't stand that, dude. Stop trying to gatekeep the NHL. You weren't the first fan. You won't be the last of that team. You don't have all the answers. Nobody does. We're all just living through this existence, okay? Is that cool with you? Can we move on to the next game without you having a meltdown because somebody said something about your team that you didn't like, who happens to be a fan of your team? Is that okay? I don't expect anybody here in Dallas, DFW, to agree with any of my opinions. I don't expect anybody to, but they're just that. They're my opinions, and I will keep giving them regardless of if you try to gatekeep my team or not. And I'm not saying this has happened to me. I can't stand people that do that. Like, you're not that person. You're not that authority. You have a Twitter account, bro. Like, check yourself. You have a Twitter account. Calm down. It's okay. If anybody on Twitter can make a post at any given time, it's like, you're getting so upset about one person making a post at one point in time that you didn't agree. It's like, get over it. You don't have the final say. I'm sorry, you don't. Anyways, moving on. A lot has happened. We're already in the second round. We're already at going on game 4. I'm afraid to click on this because I don't want it to cut off my recording. Is it going to do that? All right, I think we're good. NHL. Okay, so tonight, let's just go ahead and go around the league a little bit. The Panthers beat the Maple Leafs. They tie that series 2-2. My Dallas Stars beat the Jets in Game 3. My Stars lead that series 2-1. The final score was 5-2. Sorry, I've had a couple of drinks here, guys. The Golden Knights hanging on for dear life. Well, I say that. Oh, this was last series. I was like, the Golden Knights haven't won 3 games in this next series. Golden Knights, where are they? Edmonton leads that series 2-1. Carolina leads the Capitals Hurricane series 2-1. Yeah, that's everybody. We're getting down to it. And I gotta say, man, ranting in Game 7 versus Colorado, to rehash it, to reopen the wound, dude, that was one of the most incredible sports performances I've ever seen. It was just that. And as a Stars fan, this is what we've been waiting for. We've been looking at Jamie Benn, and we've been looking at Tyler Seguin, and I'll even throw Rupe Hintz on there. We've been looking at Hintz to be a series changer, a game changer, a goal scorer, a clutch player. This is who we've been searching for all these years. And I'm not saying Rantanen is the way to win every single... You can't do that to a single player. You can't. But when it counted the most, and we were down 2-0 in the third period, not looking good, in Dallas, Texas, at the AAC, the fans were quiet as a fucking mouse because we had nothing to cheer for. One man stood up, rose up, and changed the game, dude. We've been waiting for this player. And a lot of us, like I said, with what we're paying Tyler Seguin, with what we're paying Jamie Benn, they're the two highest paid players on this team, even with the Rantanen deal. With what we're paying these two players, that's what we were expecting from them. To be those game changers, to be that goal scorer. To flip the game on its head and say it's not over. You know what I mean? And they're just not. As blunt as I can say it, they're not those players. Jamie Benn and Tyler Seguin are not those players, even in their prime. You know, I realize Sagan's older. I realize Ben is older. I can see it. He's playing on the third line now. But even in their prime, they weren't that player. Rantanen is a whole other beast, man. And what I saw that night, I mean, I'm surprised my neighbors didn't call the cops because of the way I was just hollering. If you're not from Texas, it's not yelling, it's hollering. The way I was hollering when Wyatt Johnston scored that third goal to take the lead. I mean, I was overjoyed. I've never... That's what we've been waiting for, dude. That player, that game breaker, that's who we've needed for all of these years. If we have a game breaker versus St. Louis when they went on to win the cup that season, we win that series. If we have a game breaker like Rantanen when we're playing Tampa Bay to win the Stanley Cup, we win that Stanley Cup. This is like the piece we have been missing, is someone who can take the team on their back and score crucial goals. Dude, it was that second goal Rantanen scored was the most unconventional shit you will ever see. It was so unconventional. It was a wraparound, but dude, this man had his skates on the boards. Like he was parallel to the ice, with his skates on the board, wrapping in, the wraparound. He banked it off of one of their players' skates to go in to tie the game, dude. Like, that's what we've needed. And I totally get why Colorado didn't want to let him go. I understand 100%. They didn't want to see him leave because he just proved why. He proved why in that game that we beat them to move on to the second round. He proved why they didn't want to let him go. Because he is that guy. If I could put it in new age terms, he is him, bro. That was incredible. And like I said, the way I was screaming, I mean, it was ridiculous. I couldn't believe it. I sat there in shock after the final buzzer of that game that we actually came back in the third period and won this game to move on to the next round. You know, fucking incredible, man. I've never, that is one, like I said, that is one of the greatest all-time sports performances, period. Up there with your Michael Jordans, up there with your LeBron Jameses when he's had those games, up there with your Wayne Gretzky's, up there with your, and I'm not just saying this from a Dallas fan's perspective, I really don't feel like that's all it's coming from. It was just meant to be. You know what I mean? Like, he was not going to be denied. And then he gets the empty net for the hat trick. Dude, I was just absolute bliss. My Stars, man, they're making some noise. Like, and I've said this. I said this in the middle of the season. You can go back and listen to my episodes. Not to be like, oh, I called it, but, you know, I'm sure a lot of people listen to this podcast and they're like, oh, he's just jumping on the hot. He's just jumping on the bandwagon. You don't understand. I've been a fan of this team since they have been in existence in Dallas, Texas. You know what I mean? Like, I was literally ground zero for this team. Like, none of my neighbors in the neighborhood I grew up in, none of my neighbors watched hockey. They only watched hockey because we watched hockey. And we were so excited about it. You know, like, with the exception of one of my, is like a neighbor 2 doors down. He actually worked for the Dallas Stars. Or the NHL in general, actually. I don't even think it was just the Stars. But with the exception of that guy, I mean, nobody else in my neighborhood, they didn't know shit about hockey. And the only reason I learned shit about hockey was from the Bud Light. Look at me now. So many years later, the Bud Light rules of the game. That's how they taught us hockey here in Dallas. Was they would do the little breaks in between puck drops. And they would do Bud Light rules of the game. What is icing? What is offside? I think even back then they had the 2-line pass still in effect. So they had to teach us what 2-line... I don't even remember what that one is anymore. Yeah, dude, that's the only reason I learned what an amazing game hockey is. And, dude, once I learned... Because I came from a soccer background, very soccer. Like, I knew all the rules for soccer, which is, I mean, there's not that many rules. There's offside, which can be the bitch of them all. You know, there's fouls and stuff and penalty kicks and, you know, it gets a little intricate. But that's the basics of, like, how hockey works. You know, there's a goalie, there's a goal. You're trying to shoot into the goal. You know, you're not exactly trying to score a touchdown to where, you know, you got to put the ball past someone. It's not like that. But, yeah, dude, they taught us the rules of hockey and the Bud Light, you know, rules of hockey or whatever they phrased it as. I forgot why I even said all of this. I guess just to point out that I'm not a newbie, but I'm also not a gatekeeper, dude. If you want to jump on the bandwagon, go ahead. The more, the merrier. I'm not going to tell you how to root for your team. That just drives me fucking crazy. But I said this before, dude. And I said this mid-season. If we are firing on all cylinders, and that just means, I mean, just think of every facet of the game. The goalie is playing well. Defense is playing well. Our scorers are scoring. You know, not just one guy, multiple guys. Dude, if we play on that level, we are absolutely, the depth of the Dallas Stars, we are absolutely unstoppable, dude. And tonight's game kind of proves that. That's what I'm gonna go down the list here real quick of my Stars goal scorers. I mean, just first off, right off the top, the glaring stat from Rantanen. 1 goal, 2 assists, 3 points, 2 shots on goal. I mean, it's just incredible, man. I can't believe we got this guy. I really can't. I can't believe we got Rantanen. Rantanen. I said his name kind of Texan there. Rantanen. Yeah, I can't believe we got him, man. I really can't. I can't believe they let him. And it's like Carolina. It's like they're whatever. He just maybe didn't mix well or whatever. But they're like, we can't do anything with this guy. We don't get it. What was the big deal? Why did we pay so much money? And it's like he comes to the Stars and he's just the fit. Granlund, another great game. 2 assists and 2 points. Harley, 1 goal, 1 assist, 2 points. Hintz, 1 goal, 1 assist, 2 points. Steele, 2 assists, 2 points. 1 shot on goal. Jamie Benn, 1 assist, 1 point. Dadonov, 1 assist, 1 point. Johnston, 1 goal, 1 point. Petrovic, 1 goal, 1 point. I mean, dude. And we haven't even, and I'm giving Robertson a little bit of grace here. He just got mixed back into everything. We're going to have to do the same thing with Heiskanen when he comes back. Robertson had 2 shots on goal. I'm not mad at him for it. I know he's got to catch up. He's got to get to speed. But, dude, just think about it. These are the players who still haven't reached their full potential. Duchesne, Lindell. Even though, I mean, Lindell, that's hard to say because on the defensive side, Lindell is absolutely fucking peaked. Robertson, Sagan, Marchment even. I'll throw him in there. If our whole team peaks at once, you don't have a chance. Like, that's just it. And I feel like that's probably true with a lot of teams, but I feel like our depth is unlike any other team. So I'm obviously just being a Dallas Stars fan, I'm super high on them. I'm feeling great. We have the series lead 2-1 against the President Trophy winning Winnipeg Jets. But yeah, man, it's. I mean, you just never know what's going to happen. You just never know, right? All right. Anyway, that's going to do it for me for the week. As always, don't drink and drive. Treat yourself to an Uber. Treat yourself to a Lyft. Treat yourself to a DoorDash. Be safe out there. I love you all. Let's finish these off. If you got them drinking, bottoms up. Cheers, everybody. All right. I will talk to you guys next week. Be safe out there. I love you all. Bye.